Dr. Frost walks into a room, and within minutes he knows things about the people in it that they haven't told anyone, simply because he knows how to understand the psyche of himself and others. He's a psychology professor who consults on criminal cases, personal crises, and social conflicts that many can't even understand. And he resolves them not through effort or authority, but through a level of perception that allows him to outsmart everyone else. The first thing to understand is why most people lose. It's not because they're unintelligent, but rather because they're inside the situation. When you're emotionally invested in an outcome, when you need something or fear something, your processing narrows. You stop seeing what's actually happening and start seeing what your emotional state filters in, making reality a subjective experience. You react to what feels true rather than what is true, and it dilutes all facts and objective reasoning. This is the default human condition. Almost everyone operates this way almost all of the time. Kahneman called this system one thinking, the fast, automatic, emotionally driven mode that feels accurate but constantly cuts corners on reality. Which means the gap Frost exploits isn't intelligence, but rather positioning. The asymmetry of you being inside the situation and another being outside gives that person the leverage to almost always be ahead, even if you are objectively smarter. The practical application here is the first principle of the system. Before any high-stakes conversation, negotiation, or social dynamic, first locate yourself emotionally. Ask where your investment is and what outcome are you attached to. Whatever you find, that's your blind spot. That's where your processing is already compromised before the interaction begins. Essentially, you need to take stock of your location before your opponent does. Now, detachment isn't coldness. That's the issue most people have when they encounter Frost as a character. They think his emotional flatness is a personality trait or something to be admired. It's neither. It's a deliberate cognitive posture that can be utilized. What detachment actually means in practice is that your observation isn't contaminated by your preference. When you want someone to like you, you unconsciously filter out data that suggests they don't and make reality subjective. When you're threatened by someone, you unconsciously amplify signals of their weakness and minimize signals of their strength. Your emotional state is constantly altering your perception, and you are unaware, which can impair overall thinking. Frost removes that bias, not by being inhuman, but by having a prior commitment to accuracy over comfort. The way to build this is through what you could call delayed interpretation. When something happens in a social interaction, someone says something unexpected, reacts in a way that surprises you, or pushes back harder than you anticipated, your instinct is to interpret it immediately. That immediate interpretation is almost always emotionally influenced. The best way to counter this is equanimity, or the practice of feeling the feeling. Frankl framed this as the gap between stimulus and response. That gap is where your agency lives. Delay the reaction and hold the feeling. Name it, observe it, and it will pass just like a wave. The gap between observation and interpretation is where accurate reading lives, so practice widening that gap and your read on people will shift noticeably within weeks. Now we will get into profiling and analysis. Frost's psychological profiling isn't random or fake. It's pattern recognition applied to behavioral data. Every person you interact with is running a relatively consistent operating system, a set of core needs, fears, defense mechanisms, and decision-making filters that were largely shaped before they were 20 years old. That system expresses itself constantly through word choice, reaction timing, what they emphasize, what they avoid, and how they handle contradiction. Most people don't notice this information because they're too busy managing their own side of the interaction. Frost notices it because he's already done the internal work. He knows where his biases are. He's set them aside. And now his attention is genuinely available for the other person. That is why we covered bias first. The 3 channels he's reading simultaneously are verbal content, behavioral timing, and contradiction points. Verbal content is the surface layer and the least reliable. People say what they think they're supposed to say, what protects them, what positions them favorably. Take it as decent information, but don't weight it heavily. Behavioral timing is more reliable. How long does it take someone to answer a direct question? Do they slow down on specific topics? Do they accelerate when they're uncomfortable? filling silence with words to avoid it landing. Ekman's research on behavioral leakage confirms this. The body consistently reveals what the mouth is managing. Timing reveals processing load, and high processing load on a specific topic means that topic has weight for them. Contradiction points are the most useful. Where does someone's stated position conflict with their behavior, and where does their self-description not match what you observe? Frost moves toward contradictions rather than away from them. Practice in your own interactions. You don't need to profile everyone you meet. But in high-stakes situations, run these 3 channels deliberately. What are they saying? How long are they taking? And where does it contradict? Those 3 questions alone will give you more accurate information than most people gather in an entire relationship. The next section is abductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning moves from a general rule to a specific conclusion, and inductive reasoning moves from specific observations to a general pattern. But abductive reasoning does something different. It builds the most accurate probable explanation from incomplete information and commits to it as a working model while remaining open to revision. Pierce called it inference to the best explanation. This is how Frost operates when psychoanalyzing. He doesn't wait for perfect, complete information, because perfect information never arrives. He builds the most coherent model of the person in front of him from available data, runs decisions through that model, and updates it when new data contradicts it. Most people either wait too long, refusing to form a read until they have certainty they'll never get, or they form a read too early and stop updating it. Frost does neither. Rather, he holds a committed working model loosely, confident enough to act on, but flexible enough to revise. The practical version of this is what you could call model building. After a significant interaction with someone, spend 2 minutes constructing their decision-making model. So things like, what do they value, or what do they fear? You won't be fully accurate at first. The point is to build the habit of modeling rather than just reacting. Over time, your models get more accurate, your predictions get sharper, and you stop being surprised by people. Once you have an accurate model of someone's psyche, their behavior becomes largely predictable. Not in every detail, but in the ways that matter. Things like how they'll respond to pressure, what they'll protect, where they'll compromise, and what moves they'll make when they feel threatened. I will explain the entire cycle clearly now. Detachment enables clean observation. Clean observation enables accurate profiling. Accurate profiling enables abductive modeling. Abductive modeling enables prediction, and prediction enables you to move first in a game everyone else thinks hasn't started yet. Gary Klein's research on naturalistic decision-making shows that experts in high-stakes fields don't run through options when making fast decisions. They pattern match against mental models built through experience. That's the same system Frost runs, built on psychological behavioral data rather than situational precedent. This we call pre-mortem thinking being applied to social dynamics. Before a high-stakes interaction, run the other person's model forward. Given what you know about how they process, what are the 3 most likely ways this conversation goes? What would trigger each path, and what can you do at the opening of the interaction that makes the path you want most probable? This isn't manipulation in the crude sense, simply preparation at a level most people never reach because they walk into important conversations blind. The last thing worth addressing is the cost side of this system. Frost is not a happy character. His abilities comes with isolation. The same detachment that makes him accurate makes genuine connection difficult. This is worth noting because the goal isn't to become Frost. The goal is to understand the cognitive traits that are valuable and use it without the pathology. Use it like a tool you pick up and put down. If you found this video useful, make sure to join the server and subscribe for more resources and programs. Thanks for watching Power IQ. Until the next one.